Welcome to Survival Mode. In today's video, what I want to discuss with y'all today is very, very important to have on you. How important it is to have cash in your hand
Right.
during an emergency situation. So many different types of emergency situations to where, a lot of people really don't think about having cash on hand. You want to know why? A lot of people, like myself and Mrs. H, we have a hard time sometimes thinking about this though, because when you got a credit card in your hand, when you go shopping, it's so convenient just to swipe that card, put that card in there, and we get used to it, because, hey, it's very quick, and that's what everybody is accustomed to,
Tap and
using a debit card. And it's all tied up to electronics.
Yeah.
And electronics is so fragile right now, very fragile,
Right.
to where, a lot of things being hacked. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of hacking going on.
Right.
So how important is cash?
Right.
And we forget about it all the time. I would think that cash is so important to have in hand, just to start doing it, to have a good habit of having a lot of cash in your pocket.
Right. As much as you can.
Yeah, because these debit cards, I'm telling you, you got to be very, very careful with these debit cards.
Yeah.
And having that cash in hand is so important.
Yeah.
So when you go in the convenience stores, you can think about, like, when you see these signs up.
Yeah. That's true. Because that's actually happened to where you walk into certain stores and you can see signs on the doors that say cash only.
Yeah.
Right? That has happened at Walmart. That has happened at other big stores. That has happened at gas stations. It's happened at convenience stores. It has happened at so many different places where they may have what they are saying system issues,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you never know what the system issues are. The employees never know what the system issues are, right? So you never know, but one thing is for sure, no matter what you need, if you don't have cash, you can't shop that day,
Yeah.
right? Because look, I know, we know, and we've heard it a million times that the dollar is on the decline.
Yes.
And the dollar is collapsing. We've heard that a million times. We know that is coming. We know that time is upon us because the dollar has very little value nowadays, right? However, it still has value.
Yes.
And when there are system issues,
Yes.
cash is king.
Yes.
Not the plastic card where you can tap and pay or swipe a debit card, So if it's an emergency situation and you need emergency supplies and you do not have cash, you are going to be out of luck.
Yes, you
So
are.
Mr. H asked the question, how
How
important
important
is
it
cash?
is. Just
You
in-
got to determine that for yourself.
Yeah, and I think back in Texas when they had the power grid situation, where that power grid went all the way down
Yeah.
to where they was out of electricity for a long period of time, and it was the winter time, and just think about when the power grid go down, period, no matter what time it is, the ATMs gonna be shut down.
No ATMs.
So everything is gonna go from digital to analog, to
Yeah.
where you're gonna be like, okay, you gotta have cash. It's gonna go back to like 1980. You
Right.
gotta make sure you got cash in hand in case you want to come in these stores and buy stuff. If they have generators, they have lighting, whatever, and they still trying to help people, cash is gonna be,
Cash is king.
that's it.
It's going to be king. So, having that cash on hand and thinking about, dog, what would I need cash for? Well, like Mr. H say, you may need it for gasoline.
Yeah.
If you're traveling, come on. That's a terrible situation to be in, to be traveling, trying to get
Yeah.
somewhere in a serious situation, and you're trying to get to a safe space as fast as you can. And when you get to the gas station, you need to fuel up, and they say, hey, no cards. Cash only, no checks.
Yeah.
Cash only. If you don't have cash, you don't have gas, right?
Yeah.
So that is something else to think about. Do you really want to be in a situation like that where you don't have cash to get
Yeah.
fuel.
Yeah, and also you think about, okay, if you just got a debit card and you think, okay, maybe the bank still have electricity, that's maybe I can go to the bank, but what if you don't have no bank access?
Right.
What if like the sun come up and then it be like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, so you say, okay, well, I'm gonna try to just go to the ATM at the bank.
Right.
What if you can't get to the bank? And
Yeah. And if you did, you can't access it.
yeah,
Because and don't think that can't happen, because it has happened before. Y'all seen these banks. One is recent in California when they shut down the whole bank, right?
wow, yeah,
Could nobody get access to their money. So don't think it couldn't happen. And it don't matter what ATM you went to. If you had that card from that bank, you had no money.
yeah. Yeah, I wondered if you go in there like how it used to be, just show your ID and then get cash from the counter. I don't know exactly how they would do that, but I know for a fact that with no bank access, you got to get that cash ahead of time.
Yeah, and I don't even believe banks would even hand out cash. Like if there's a major problem where things are shutting down, I don't believe the banks would even be open for you to go in to access your money.
Wow.
Right? They probably won't even unlock the doors that day.
Wow.
Right? So how important is having cash on hand, at least enough to, if you had to make a round trip, if you had to go from, I don't know, let's just say you had to drive from Texas to, I don't know, Kansas or
yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
If you had to make a round trip, maybe you need to go and help family and bring them back to you, or maybe you just need to get your family and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you had to make that trip, how much money do you need to fuel up? How much fuel do you need? How much cash are you going to need to make that trip, right?
Yeah.
So just think about like what you would need cash for. It could be something as simple as, I need a bottle of Tylenol because I'm in pain. But if the drugstore is only taking cash and all you got is a card, I don't care if you got a limit of $50,000 on your card.
Wow.
You still broke.
Yeah.
If everything is shut down, you still broke
Yeah.
because your card means nothing.
Yeah.
You need cash.
Yeah, you're going to need that cash. And then hopefully it's not a situation to where cell service is down.
Right.
That happened, in certain situations to where, you're in an area and a storm come through and you can't dial out.
Right, no service.
So basically you're going to need that cash to get some gas in that car and go somewhere where you can get some cell service.
That's right.
And it's real important to have cash.
Right.
Real important to have cash in hand because you don't know what could happen.
Right.
But you will be able to make some moves with that
That's
cash.
right. With the cash, you'll be able to make some moves. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So that's and we're not talking about like stockpiling cash.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about, you having a reasonable amount of money that if you needed to travel, get from point A to point B, if you needed to pick up some quick emergency supplies, or maybe you are away from where your home supply is. Maybe at home you got what you need.
Yeah.
But what if something happens and you're not home?
Yeah.
And you're out traveling. Maybe you took a flight somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to get home as quick as you can. We've all seen travel failures happen. Look, we saw the airline cancel over 7,000 flights.
Wow.
I forgot. When they had that software malfunction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Another malfunction. Right. We saw that malfunction with the software update.
Yeah.
And when that happened, thousands of people were stranded. But what if you had no cash?
Wow.
Right? What if you had a card, but what good is a card if you can't use the card to buy the ticket you need? What if you need to take a bus ticket, or a bus home, or anything?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Maybe you need cash.
Yeah. Cash is king.
Cash is king,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just something to think about, isn't it?
It is. It is
Yeah.
because we got to get in a habit of having cash on us.
Yeah.
Because it's good to have cash and a debit card.
Right.
You know, but that cash gonna always be there. You know, to handle business when that debit card can't.
That's true.
You know, because technology is so fragile,
That's
and
true.
you keep seeing these situations where a lot of this technology is being hacked or whatever. You know, and hey, it's
Yeah.
best to be prepared.
I'm fighting bugs.
Yeah. It's best to be
It's
prepared
best
with
to
cash.
be prepared with cash, you all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is that it?
That's it. That's going to do it for survival mode.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Oh, also, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
You all post in the comment section below, how much cash do you think a person should have
That's a good
on
idea.
them
Yeah.
in an emergency situation? You post what you think that number should look like for, I don't know, one person, two people, family of 4, family
Yeah.
of 5, family of 10, I don't know.
Yeah.
You post it in the comment section below, because your comment, if you have a family of 4, then your comment could possibly help another family of 4
Yeah.
who may need to, well, what do I need to do? Or how much cash should I have on hand? And how should I store it? You know, how should I put the cash away safely, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to just, you know, be walking around with a whole lot of money. I mean, I wouldn't do that. You know, you want to make sure that you have a place that you can safe keep whatever money you need for an emergency situation. Okay?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
So y'all think about that. Post in the comment section below what you think that number should look like.
Yes.
And let's help one another.
Let's help one another and come up with some good ideas how we can keep this cash in hand and how we can store it and
Right.
and any other good information, just post it in the comment section. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Survival Mode. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.